Welcome to Test 9, Lesson 6, last one for Test 9. So get your swords ready and let's go. Today is mostly review. We're going to order large numbers, identify regular quadrilaterals, and identify slides. So let's start. We'll order large numbers. So here are 4 very big numbers, and I want to put them in ascending order, which means from the smallest to the biggest. When I look at these numbers, it can get a little bit confusing. So remember when you're ordering numbers, what you always want to do is start on the left, because that's going to tell you what's the biggest. Place value with positive integers gets bigger as you go to the left. So that's what we want to start with. So I'm going to start with the number in the billions place, which is 3 on all of them except this bottom one. And that tells me that that bottom number is going to be the smallest one I have. So I'll move it down here. It's going to be first in my list. The other ones are all 3s, so that doesn't help me any. I'm going to look next at the 100 millions place. So I've got 4, 4, and 2. 2 is the next smallest number, so this will be my next smallest number. I'll move it to that spot. Now I'm down to 2 numbers, so I'll check the 10 millions place. They're both 8s, that doesn't help. We'll check the millions place. They're both 3s, that doesn't help. Check the 100,000s place. This one's a 2, this one's a 1. 1 is smaller than 2, so that'll be my next number. And then this is my biggest number. So don't let the big numbers mix you up. All you have to do is start with the biggest place value and compare. Don't try to compare the whole number at once, because your brain is not going to be able to process this many digits at one time. So now you give this one a try. Pause the video. Put these in descending order, which means start with the biggest one, and I'll be back to help you in a minute. So when we look at this, we're going to start with the billions place, and this guy doesn't even have a billions place, so that's going to be my smallest number. Now since I'm supposed to put these in descending order, my smallest number is going to go at the bottom of my list, so I'll just put him down there. Now I'll come back to my numbers and look at the millions place. Now I can tell by looking, I could go 1 digit at a time, but I can tell by looking that all 3 of these are the same. They're all 890, 890, 890. So those aren't going to help me in any way. So I'm going to move on to my 100,000s. Got all 4s, not very helpful. 10,000s is all 3s, not very helpful. 1,000s, I have 2, 0, and 2. There we go. This guy's a 0 right here. And because he's a 0, he's going to be the next smallest number. So I'll put him here. Remember, these are going in descending order. I want my biggest on top. Back to my numbers. I'll look at the hundreds. They're both 1s. Look at the 10s. They're both 0. Look at the 1s. There we go. 7 is bigger than 6. So 6 goes here. And 7 goes here. And that's all there is to it. You've been doing that for many years. You just might not have been doing it with numbers quite this big, but the principle's the same. Start with the biggest place value and work your way down. Let's quickly review identifying regular quadrilaterals. So remember that regular means that all sides and angles are equal, and quadrilateral means a shape with 4 sides. Here are all your types of quadrilaterals: the parallelogram, the rectangle, the rhombus, the square, the trapezoid. You go with the American pronunciation. I just left that in for interest's sake, that if you went to England, they would call that the trapezium. And they say the kite, but I mean, it's just a rhombus that has different size shapes. So some types are included in the definitions of other types, remember. For example, squares, rhombuses, and rectangles are also parallelograms. That just means that they have 2 sets of parallel sides, which rectangles and squares do. So all of these are quadrilaterals. We want to know which ones are regular quadrilaterals. And actually the only regular quadrilateral is the square, because it's the only one that has all equal sides and angles. The rectangle's close, it has all equal angles, but the sides on either side are shorter. And our third objective is to identify slides. So again, just a quick review. A slide is when you move a shape without rotating it or flipping it. The shape still looks exactly the same, it's just in a different place. Rotation is a circular movement. You move a shape around a fixed point. So just as an example, here is a triangle. If I fix the corner and I turn it, that was a rotation. And a flip is when you turn something, like literally pick it up and flip it over to create a reflection. So looking at this original triangle, which shape below is a flip, which is a rotation, and which is a slide? See if you can identify it. Pause the video if you need to, and then I'll have the answer for you. And here are your answers. This is a slide because it still looks the same. This is a rotation. The shape has the same orientation, it's just been turned. And this is a flip because we've actually taken this guy and flipped him over and made a reflection, like if you're looking in a mirror. So that's it. Nice short lesson today because it's mostly review. And speaking of review, please do these 3 review questions. Order the numbers from least to greatest, draw a regular quadrilateral, and then draw a slide, flip, and rotation of this shape. And you're done your math for tonight and for test 9. See you tomorrow. Have a great night.